Have you noticed that more and more people are saying the same thing? I just don't feel anything anymore. I'm not happy, not excited, not particularly sad, just flat. Life carries on. They go to work. They pay the bills. They watch television. They scroll through social media. They laugh occasionally. But underneath it all, something feels strangely absent, as though the colour has slowly drained from life. Many people assume this is depression. Sometimes it is, but not always. Sometimes it's emotional numbness. And emotional numbness is becoming one of the quiet epidemics of modern life. Emotions were never designed to disappear. They're information. Joy tells us something matters. Fear tells us to be careful. Sadness tells us we've lost something. Anger tells us a boundary has been crossed. You see, every emotion has a purpose. The trouble begins when we stop listening. Imagine driving a car. Every warning light on the dashboard starts flashing. Instead of finding the cause, you simply cover the dashboard with black tape. The warning lights disappear, but the problem doesn't. Our emotions work much the same way. Ignoring them doesn't solve them. It simply makes us less aware of what's happening underneath. Many people don't become numb overnight. It happens slowly, one disappointment, then another. A difficult relationship, pressure at work, financial worries, family responsibilities, constant bad news, stress, loss. Little by little, the mind begins protecting itself. It quietly says, this is becoming too much. So it turns the volume down, not just on the painful emotions, but on all of them. Because the brain doesn't have separate volume controls. If it numbs sadness, it often numbs joy as well. Think about a dimmer switch in your home. You lower the light because it's too bright. Everything becomes softer, less intense. But eventually, you realise you've also made it harder to see. Emotional numbness is like living with the lights permanently turned down. Nothing hurts quite as much, but nothing excites you either. Modern life doesn't help. We're constantly consuming news, opinions, videos, arguments, advertisements, messages. The human brain evolved to deal with real experiences, not thousands of emotional signals every single day. Eventually it reaches capacity, and when it reaches capacity, it begins filtering, protecting, reducing, not because it's broken, because it's trying to survive. There's another reason this happens. Many of us have become experts at functioning. We wake up, we go to work, smile politely, reply to emails, cook dinner, watch TV, go to bed, repeat. We become incredibly efficient at performing life while quietly forgetting how to experience it. There's a huge difference. One is surviving and the other is living. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack. At first, you notice every kilogram, but if you wear it every day for years, something strange happens. You stop noticing the weight, not because it disappeared, because you adapted to it. Many people are carrying emotional backpacks they no longer realize they're wearing. Stress has become normal. Exhaustion has become normal. Disconnection has also become normal, until one day they realize they haven't genuinely felt alive for a very long time. Perhaps that's why simple moments can suddenly catch us by surprise. A piece of music, a familiar smell, watching the sunset, holding someone's hand, a child laughing. For a brief moment, the numbness lifts. We feel something again, not because the world changed, but because for a second we stopped living on autopilot. The danger with emotional numbness is that it can be mistaken for peace. People often say, I'm fine. I don't really care anymore. I've moved on. Maybe they have, but maybe they've simply stopped feeling. Those are very different things. Acceptance feels peaceful. Numbness feels empty. One brings freedom, the other quietly disconnects us from ourselves. Technology isn't creating emotional numbness on its own, but it can certainly help us avoid noticing it. Whenever discomfort appears, we distract ourselves. Whenever loneliness appears, we scroll. Whenever anxiety appears, we consume more information. We're constantly moving away from ourselves. Yet healing almost always begins by moving gently towards ourselves instead. One of the greatest misunderstandings about emotions is that people think feeling deeply makes them weak. I would argue the opposite. The strongest people I've ever met weren't the ones who never cried. They were the ones who were prepared to look honestly at what was happening inside them, without pretending, without holding, without constantly distracting themselves. That takes courage. Here's something worth remembering. You cannot selectively numb emotions. If you try to block sadness, you often reduce joy. If you suppress fear, you can lose excitement. If you disconnect from disappointment, you may also disconnect from hope. Human emotions arrive as a complete system, not separate compartments. So how do we begin finding our way back? Not by forcing happiness, not by pretending everything is wonderful, but by becoming curious again. Notice what moves you. Notice what drains you. Notice the conversations that leave you energized. Notice the ones that leave you empty. Spend more time in nature, less time consuming, more time creating, less time reacting. Reconnect with real experiences, because emotions don't usually return through thinking. They return through living. And perhaps this week, instead of asking yourself, am I happy? Ask something different. What have I stopped feeling? It's a gentler question, a more honest question. And sometimes it opens a door we didn't even realize had been closed. Maybe emotional numbness isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. Perhaps it's a sign that your mind has been protecting you for longer than it was ever meant to. And protection, while necessary for a while, was never supposed to become a permanent way of living. Because underneath the numbness, your curiosity is still there, your joy is still there, your wonder is still there, quietly waiting, patiently waiting for you to come back. And in my closing comments, if this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever gone through a period where life felt emotionally flat? And what helped you to reconnect with yourself? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this series, The Silent Collapse of Modern Humans, I'd love for you to subscribe. In my next video, we'll explore one of the biggest paradoxes of modern life. We have more freedom than ever, so why do we feel so trapped? Because perhaps the greatest prison isn't made of walls. It's made of invisible beliefs we quietly accepted without ever questioning them.